This is a different kind of tofu. If they have sesame oil, we can just fry it in a pan.
This one is original kimchi.
Really?
That you...
And do you want to get rice with it? Smells good.
청각 kimchi.
Eggs, tofu, milk, and beans. Greta Thunberg, she started this movement where she started protesting every Friday and she didn't go to school.
안녕하십니까. 오늘의 특집은 채식의 날을 한번 가져볼까 합니다. 제 친구 중에 어떤 친구가 채식주의자여가지고 그 친구와 함께 오늘 채식을 한번 하는 날을 만들어 보려고 하는데, 물론 저는 뭐 채식주의자는 아니지만 그래서 오늘 아주 힘든 날이 될 것 같습니다. 채식 아주 힘든 날이 될 수도 있을 것 같은데 한번 즐겨보겠습니다. Hey.
Oh, why is it so cold?
Yeah, it's freezing to death, right?
Yes. Have you eaten already?
No.
Me neither.
From 2 days ago,
Yeah.
it started the
50 degrees.
real Korean winter.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a grocery. Yeah, we should. 자, 오늘 어떤 걸 먹을까?
Thing with
There's a tofu,
this is a different kind of tofu.
only fried.
If they have sesame oil, we can just fry it in a pan.
콩두부.
I would
양송이
always
버섯.
go this one.
Okay.
These are so
We can
huge.
grip.
Those are really cheap. And it's huge.
Are they German?
No, here in Korea. What is this already made kimchi?
Made by green onion, but kimchi. We are calling kimchi.
What can you recommend?
I recommend this one. This is a little bit different kimchi.
Yeah.
This one is the original kimchi.
Really?
Yeah, that you tried it before
Yeah.
at the restaurant.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
they
yeah.
are provide
Yeah,
this kimchi.
I always also tried this one. I also like it. Let's
Yeah.
get this one. And do you want to get rice with it?
Like 햇반,
What?
햇반, you know. There is.
Which rice can you recommend?
I love this one.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, let's get it.
Is there any vegan ramen?
I haven't seen one. Every ramen I've tried, there was meat in it. Right here.
This ramen is
I know.
very popular.
Yeah, I
So-
know. This is shrimp, and here they have meat.
짜파게티. Dressings?
It's for salad, right?
Yeah. This is
Ah,
sesame
so
oil.
Sesame oil to fry it in the pan,
Yeah.
like the tofu and the mushrooms. Like some of it's sticking here. In Germany, you have to pay extra for the plastic bag. You have to pay extra here.
That is our common stuff, but it's changing it as illegal to selling that back. Yeah, illegal. Let's go. It's pretty cool, right?
This is a better kitchen than I have.
Yeah?
Yeah. Have you seen something to chop on, like a?
Doma.
Plate?
It's like, I'm not sure. I just checked it out. No.
Okay. That's a lot of work. But we can just put it in here with the sesame oil and then top it with this. You know?
Yeah?
Okay.
What are you cooking in your house in Germany? Usually.
Actually, a lot of pasta.
A lot of
And
pasta?
then something with vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Also
As
often
a salad, right?
Yeah. Salad.
Put the sesame oil first. You can use the knife.
Yeah, no, so soft. You can just, you know.
Very tough German.
See, it's so easy.
Like Korean japchae, you know?
This is much easier to do than with
Yeah?
the knife. See, it
Yeah.
works. We have a lot of tofu.
Yes. When you are boring, you don't watching any media.
I've watched a documentary about Korea.
How are you feeling these days? You lived in here 3 months over.
Yeah.
You tried a lot here.
Yeah.
And lucky your life. Traveling always happy. This is your study, but kind of traveling as well.
Yeah, true.
So what was the feel comfortable?
I really like Jeju.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think? Why
Because
do
the
you
weather
feel?
was good, and then the beach, and good people, halatan. I really enjoyed it.
김치고래 김치요. Do you know
Very
say hello?
random.
I'm just gonna checking you.
So,
You can speak say hello.
안녕하세요.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
I know Changa, but I usually say 안녕히 계세요, right? Okay, it's looking good.
Let's prove it.
Smells good.
음식을 만들었습니다.
We tried.
그다음에 밥을 좀 가져와서 그리고 햇반을 이거를 먹겠습니다. 밥을 먹어보도록 하겠습니다. You never seen it before, like
Yes.
this kimchi. This is the 청각
this one.
kimchi. Yeah. Yeah, the
alright.
vegetable sauce first.
Wait.
Nope.
Oh no.
참사 is
Now it's even better.
you made a chaos. Yeah.
It's alright.
Okay.
But the mushrooms are good.
Not spicy anymore? You tried a lot of the spice food in Korea before, but now you got used to it?
Yeah, maybe just a bit. You can imagine when you have 1,000 chicken in one place, then it's like with COVID, like when people are here in a small room, they get infected, they get the disease very quickly, right? So for the chicken, they feed them antibiotics so they don't get sick, like whatever disease there is, that they don't even get sick. So they feed them antibiotics. It is a big issue because if you eat the meat, if the chickens have been fed with antibiotics and you eat the meat or animal products in general, afterwards, like you might also, in terms, still consume the antibiotics yourself just by eating the meat or animal product. So this is a health issue because you might get resistant to antibiotics, and if you're resistant to them, eventually, and you get really sick, like a doctor couldn't feed you with the normal antibiotics, and then it just wouldn't work. So that's one of the health issues that comes along with eating meat, eating animal products.
So you mean like because of that antibiotics makes confusing your immune system?
Yeah. Because if you consume it's like here's the chain of it. So if they get fed it, if they feed it, it will end up in animal products. The antibiotics are given to animals. All animals carry bacteria in their intestines. Antibiotics kill most bacteria, but resistant bacteria survive and multiply. This is just a graph that shows the impact on the climate which different foods have measured in CO2 per kilogram. And then if you look at the highest impact in food is actually beef. So they have a 65.8 CO2 per kilogram. There's a huge gap between. See, so it goes on like this, it always decreases. Then you eventually have eggs, tofu, milk, and beans, for instance. And then if you look at beef, it has 65.8.
The level of the CO2, if they emit the CO2 a lot, that makes the problem of the climate change and greenhouses gases a lot.
A lot of people who become vegetarian or vegan, they do it because of the environmental impact it has. And here it, for instance, it already shows, okay, if you just become a vegetarian, at least if you just stop eating as much beef, and maybe switch to chicken, which in my opinion is not the ideal scenario, but it will still help reduce the level of CO2 that is emitted into the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
It is much less for the same amount of meat.
What do you think fed grass meat, if they are trying that grasses a lot, just emit the gases
I think
from the stomach?
I think with grass-fed cows,
Yeah.
the difference is just the health it has on you,
Yeah.
the impact. If you're just looking at them at the environmental perspective, it does have the biggest impact. If you just cut beef, let's imagine no one would eat beef anymore.
Yeah.
Then we could already cut this CO2 emissions, which is so much more than the other products. And then you could switch it. If you don't want to go vegetarian at first, you might change to lamb or pig meat. It would still have an impact. Like if you don't want to decide to become a full vegetarian or full vegan, like you can just reduce the amount of beef you're eating.
Is it possible reducing beef? Like?
Just switch to another meat source or switch to another protein. Like we had tofu, much less kilograms of CO2 per kilogram.
You don't try any beef in German?
No.
What do you prefer?
Yeah.
To use the ingredients?
I actually like tofu. Sometimes cook something with tofu. They have so much protein, so you could actually replace it. There's so many more sources you can look up. If you want to overthink your diet and you still want to get as much protein as you need and whatever, you can replace it with also plant-based diet. I think lots of people are concerned that, for example, if they do like bodybuilding, if they want to lift weights, lots of people are concerned that they won't get enough protein or they won't stay as healthy. But actually there's a lot of evidence that people are actually healthier when they choose the right diet, and it can be a plant-based diet.
How could you be patient from the beef smell?
Yeah.
Actually, you can feel it very nice, like that Korean barbecue or just American barbecue, German barbecue is from with the sauce. It's very attractive. How could you be patient?
At first, I also thought, because I wasn't a vegetarian like 5 or 6 years ago, and I always thought, like I don't think I could do it. Because there's just a lot of meat in lots of different dishes. But then some of my friends became vegetarian, and I thought, okay, maybe I can try it for 1 year.
That's challenging.
Yes, I challenged myself.
When did you start?
I think it was about 4 years ago.
4 years ago?
Yes. And then I said, okay, for 1 year I don't want to eat meat, but I will have it once a month. And then I would like plan something special to get a burger or tacos with meat or something that I was craving. But actually, every time I had meat during this time, I started to like it less and less, and I didn't really need it as much.
In Korea, like, what about your progress? Like,
I'll just make a break in Korea and try the meat. Like Korean barbecue has a lot of meat, but then kimchi stew still has a little bit of meat. Because in Germany, lots of people are now deciding to become vegetarian, become vegan, or at least reduce the amount of meat they consume. Also, the restaurants know about it. Like traditional German food is also with a lot of meat, but it has changed. Some recipes are now changing to have an alternative to the meat. They would just replace it with another vegetable or just other ingredients that still taste delicious. They are still like similar, but they just don't contain meat. And then you actually also have a lot of vegan restaurants in Germany. And then when you go to a grocery store, you'll see that there are so many products that just replace meat, which is really helpful as a consumer who is trying to avoid meat, right? If you just have more options. I think that's kind of the key, but then the consumers really have to demand it so that it's changing. And I think maybe the easiest thing is just to try different foods that don't contain meat or contain less meat, and you might actually like them. Go on Instagram and try to follow a vegan influencer or something, and maybe just cook something for yourself at home, and maybe you would also like it.
there is some reasons to changing it, their habits, or how did you find out? Can you tell me your way?
I learned about most of the issues when I was in 10th grade. And in geography class, we would just watch several documentaries about different issues that are in the world, and one of them was animal livestock and like animal welfare, but also the impact it has on the environment and on health. So that was the first time I actually thought about it. So that was the first time I actually started thinking about it, and then in class we would talk about it. After 1 or 2 years, lots of my friends also started to become vegetarians, some even vegan. And then I thought for myself, okay, maybe I can try it. I think watching documentaries, starting to talk to other people about it is a good first step.
The meat.
I wasn't missing meat as much. I'll explain you the first reasons why I chose to stop eating meat, or at least reduce it to a minimum. One is the environmental impact. The second one is health impact, so on your personal health. So you can be selfish,
for a month, right?
I stopped it.
So,
I decided to do it before coming here, because I also often do it when I'm on vacation. Not as much meat as I ate here. If I want to get to know the culture. Also, food is a big part of it. So that's why I decided. But then when I go back, I will not eat meat anymore. You don't have to change your life from today to tomorrow, of course. But I think everyone should at least know about the effects we have, be conscious that we can change something, but everyone has to do it.
Especially German than Asia country?
Yeah, I think in Germany now it's a big trend that people try to be a bit more conscious of what they eat, but at least the people are talking about it now and try to change something. Making people discuss these things, be conscious about the impact we're all having, and then see what we can do to change it and make it better.
It was good, really good answering. Yeah. 개인적인 또 질문을 좀 나탈리아한테 하도록 하겠습니다. 이제 나탈리아가 조금 있으면 독일로 돌아가요. You are going back to German soon. Do you have any planning? Some activity about the movement or a turmeric?
For myself, yes. I will probably eat less meat again and this stuff.
How is the atmosphere of the movement in Europe or German?
Have you heard about Fridays for Future? Greta Thunberg, she started this movement where she started protesting every Friday and she didn't go to school. And this movement actually became very popular in Europe. On some Fridays there's still demonstrations. Lots of young people, but also other people from different generations are protesting, fight climate change. And it has gotten a lot of attention also on the media. But it's very difficult to see how much the politicians are actually implementing and changing, but still very, very important issues. I think the climate crisis is the most important issue we're having. So we still need to do something, and everyone needs to do their part. So.
나탈리아 얘기를 들어봤습니다. 조금 더 이 영상을 통해 가지고 전 세계에 있는 사람들도 다 같이 이런 것들에 관심을 가지고 또 어떤 좋은 미래를 만들 수 있을지, 또 우리 개인적으로는 좋은 삶을 어떻게 만들 수 있을지 한번 생각해보는 기회가 되었길 바라면서 영상을 여기까지 한번 이야기를 해보았습니다. 나탈리아랑. Let's end it up with some slogan or chant. Do you have something like that?
No.
As a vegetarian, let's protect the environment. In German.
Okay, lasst.
Let's.
Uns. Die Umwelt.
Die Umwelt.
Retten. Yeah.
Retten.
Yeah. Let's all protect the environment. Everyone should do their part.
네, 그럼 여기까지 나탈리아랑 오늘 토론해보았습니다. 다음에 또 나탈리아랑 혹시 기회가 된다면 뵙도록 하겠습니다. 네, 다음에 뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다.